the answer, and I'm afraid to ask. We have to ask here to see where this is going right now, or whatever is in the plans right now. And you mentioned, lone gunmen or crazy people. I'm not sure that that's what's being played out here. This seems to be orchestrated of sorts here. I'm going to play some Green Beret veteran also who's suggesting that we might not even know who or ever find out who actually killed Charlie Kirk here. So, yeah.
Okay, so we've got the past. So this is how it plays out. So past, present, we've got the 9 of Cups, which is interesting. So somebody really wanted this. Interesting that the 6 of Cups is in the background. So people came together to get organized to have this happen.
Yeah.
And we did see some video footage of his guys in the background doing hand signals, etc. Who knows what they were up to? And there's a bunch of weird videos coming out that suggest maybe there was some people in the know really close to him even that knew this was going to go down, assuming it was real, because we can't say for sure if it was or wasn't. My cards say it wasn't, but you know what I mean? We don't know, right? We don't know for sure. So this card here with the 6 is people were definitely in on it, whether it was a psyop or a real thing. Mm-hmm. Okay. And then people were really glad it happened. Well, we did see a lot of video footage of supposedly of these Dems celebrating his death. So that's interesting. Okay, that's really interesting.
Did you see the EU also didn't want to give the minute of silence for him? Yeah. BBC News here, they're like, oh, we're not saying because he's a Trump supporter that he got shot, but, that's what we're saying. You know what I mean? Holy crap. Are you kidding me?
Definitely highlighted what's been going on out there. Also against white people, also against Christians. Lump it all together, right? Truthers, mega, a Christian white guy.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the worst you could be in the world right now, according to a lot of people. Okay. Yeah. So here we've got that Anna's outspoken about a bunch of things that frankly, I believe in myself. A lot of people were saying, and I agree that he's a little, when he would talk about these things, he's a little black and white about things, doesn't give any leeway here or there, but frankly brought so much truth. I listened to some of his conversations with students. I'm like, yep, he's right on. Okay. Yeah. So anyway, so bring in truth. Okay. So we've got the King of Swords. So that's in the now situation. That's truth and integrity. Certainly they're searching for it, or it looks like it's coming out. That's in the near future. I feel like we will get a lot closer to the truth of the situation here. We've got the 5 of Cups up here. I think there's going to be some disappointments, maybe 2 or 3 more people, on the list. I asked about the list, so we might see some more exits. Yeah, maybe 2, maybe 3.
So that's a yes. 2 to 3.
That's a yes. Yeah.
Tim Pool here. He reposted this from the International Business Times. First, Charlie Kirk, or Candace Owens, or Ben Shapiro next. Fears, concern over conservative influencers. And I want to say, too, in this case, conservative, Christian. But I also want to say, these are truthers. These are people who, were questioning the narrative. And so that puts a lot of people in the crosshairs. Of course, these guys have huge platforms compared to you and I. But who knows at this point? It's fair game. So 2 or 3 more. Do you want to do a timing? Is there a quick escalation to this? Again, we're going to get to the shootings here at the Naval Academy today and the other Massachusetts university. But what's the timing? Are we talking days, weeks, or talking months? What does it look like?
I'd say over the next 8 weeks, we could see at least 1 or 2 of those.
So that still brings us into the October time frame there too. Okay. Yeah. Wow. So guys, if you haven't seen yet, okay, first of all, yesterday's episode, Monday's episode, and I think last Thursday's episode on Beyond Mystic, we're having some weird I don't know, glitches. We're now at third level support. I'm trying to figure it out for you guys. Let me see if I can show you what I mean for that. So some people had bought the pay-per-views, and even though they had bought them, there was a record of them. When they went into their purchase products list to play on the episode, it would crash and there would be an error. And so if this is still happening to you, Sarah has been responding to a lot of people here. She's happy to refund you. We're still working on the details. If you can wait a day or two, I think they'll be able to solve the issue. I think PayPal did an upgrade, and the WooCommerce app that catalogs the sales purchases for everybody here behind the paywall, maybe those handshakes are not happening properly, or at least intermittently, since PayPal did the upgrade last week. So I apologize for that. This is way above my pay grade and above my control. There seems to be a server connectivity issue at the end, but it's only for a few people, and that's the weird part. And the tech support guys are like, wow, we're trying to duplicate this error. They found a few of them, but it's not ubiquitous across the board because a bunch of people were able to see the episode just fine. And so anyways, that being said, if you're still in some of those issues and you haven't emailed us, just email Sarah. She'll be happy to refund you the episode if you need to for now, or if you're happy to just wait another day or two here, hopefully this will be resolved and you'll see in your cart and your purchase products, your episodes, and you'll be able to view them. Now, this did not affect the IAP server. It's on a different platform because, you watch pay-per-view on one side of the server and the IAP. Those guys were watching the episode perfectly yesterday, Monday, and also last Thursday. So again, email Sarah, guys, if there's any more tech issues. We're on it. We know there's a problem there, and we're trying to fix it for you guys. Okay. So the EU, yeah. So again, just to add insult to injury, when I saw this, I was just this is so disgusting. The EU Parliament denies a minute of silence to remember Charlie Kirk, and conservatives still stand to honor him. EU politicians are our real enemies, says this person here too. I have to agree with that statement. And we had the same thing here from CBC. I think it was Power and Politics. I think that was tonight or last night again, where they were suggesting, basically if you're a Trump supporter, that's your fault and you're a bad person and you probably deserve to get shot. Like that's the innuendo here being put out. Now, going back to what Cliff was saying, this period of time where we go to nothing will be the same. If you listen to his explanation in that video, he's saying that what worked last week to fool people or to control the narrative, suddenly next week doesn't work, or next month, I forget the timing, to where enough of the population is woken up and to say, yeah, fuck you, we're not falling for this bullshit anymore. We just saw what happened in Nepal a couple of days ago, and now we're wondering does this escalate to that here in North America or in the West, even in Europe, to where people start, bringing down the gates of government? Again, not advocating for violence. I'm asking the question if what we saw in Nepal now could be sparked here by some of these events, Charlie Kirk, and including here the two other shootings that we had today, Janine. So I'm looking for that here, the spark that maybe moves the population or the herd in a specific direction here, maybe leading to a civil war of sorts. I want you to do a pull on that. Yeah, Crypto Blonde says, JC, I think the Nepal thing is the beginning of what can happen here. Very possibly. That's what I'm trying to look at. And yeah, they torched their parliament building, like absolutely horrendous. They were beating up, stripping down, and killing politicians here in the last couple of days. You guys can go see the videos. They're absolutely horrific. And these government officials who were in trouble just a couple of weeks ago, in order to get out of trouble, you know what they did? They banned social media. And the Gen Zer says, fuck that. We're going to burn the castle down. So, dude, that happened really quick. I don't think they expected that one and that level of response. But again, it kind of goes to what Cliff was saying. People are saying, yeah, we had enough. That bullshit don't work anymore. That, we're not taking it anymore, right? Like the song says. So, Janine, do you see that here too in the West? Is this a path to leading to there?
It's a potential for sure.
Okay.
Okay. But it feels like there's all of these other directions that are also spinning off of what's been going on. Mm-hmm. So it almost dissipates. So it doesn't all just focus in civil war. There's a whole lot of things that look like they get like happening because of it, including that. Okay. But nothing's looking like that's like inevitable and we're doomed for civil war. It just more looks like it definitely could be one spark that helps bring some problems. But interesting, I get a lot of focus all of a sudden shifts over to deaths and why deaths happening. So that sounds like more truths coming out about the jab and who's dying of what and why they're dying and all the stuff RFK is looking into and stuff like that. Like a lot about looking at deaths in the past, what caused deaths in the past. Like that feels like that might take a lot of people's attention too. There's so many things taking attention, right?
Yeah.
And this part says also they look really ready, at least in the US. I don't think in Canada, but in the US, ready with the good military. So if it does start to go off there, because this card doesn't say it really gets going, but it could be the beginning of some sparks, but it feels like they get put out really quickly by good military.
Yeah. Okay. We still have some weird questions that are outstanding about the Charlie Kirk assassination death thing. One of them being, and people are asking in the live chat, so let's go there now. There's a book that came out, The Shooting of Charlie Kirk, a day before on Amazon. I went to check, and that's what it says, September 9th. What the fuck? What the fuck? And then a day later, there's a whole other book out there. Like, dude, like, it doesn't jive. Something's happening here. So
it does jive with what we got, you and I, last night.
Right. No, yes, I agree. But for the people who haven't seen this show, they're like, what's happening here? So again, we're looking at un coup monté in French. We're looking at a story board being told here, something that might have happened already in the past and now is being played out. And that's why they were really ready to roll out these books and all this stuff. And so this is Derek Johnson saying, yeah, keep calling me crazy. I'm telling you, you're watching a fucking movie, central casting and everything like that, right? So we're there. So I don't need you to pull that on that, but I just wanted to share that with the audience because everybody's asking, what the hell is that all about? So there's that. And there was also, well, the ring. We talked about the ring. We talked about the bulletproof vest. Let's go look at this. So we have supposedly the gun here, and I'm not sure that's the actual gun that was recovered on the roof or that's a similar gun to what they think was used, but they're saying it was a 30-06. That's a big caliber bullet, and that was also the same caliber that was used here in Ottawa. Remember we had the shooting on Parliament Hill? It was the same caliber gun. And that creates a big hole. Now, what was weird about the video, and we showed it yesterday, guys. I don't think I should play it here tonight. Like it's a little bit gruesome, and I want to respect the family. But it appears that he's wearing a bulletproof vest. You can kind of see a square at the end of his shirt here. That seems to have some of the impact, and it could be a ricochet from that actually catches him in the neck, if it's how it played out. But then again, he had a patch on his neck before the shooting that day, and people were pointing out, hey, that looks a lot like what Jay Widener said happened to the JFK assassination. He was wearing a squib technology, which is kind of like a patch with blood and with a pump and all that stuff, right? So a similar, maybe upgraded version of that might have been used as well. So there's all of these questions now moving forward. So let's go to some of the other news here today, and then we'll try to kind of circle the wagon here and see what's going up in the bigger picture. So breaking news, police are responding to a reported shooting near East Hall at U Massachusetts, Boston. So this is a university shooting, and now we also have this one. Breaking update here just a couple of minutes ago. Multiple victims confirmed after gunmen opened fire at a U.S. Naval Academy in Annapolis, Maryland. So this, and the other one, and all the rhetoric we're seeing on the news about more people being targeted, Alex Jones being out there saying, hey, we're going into this civil war. I warned you so. This is the video here if you want to go check it out. I'm curious, Jenny, do you want to go one by one? You Massachusetts first to see if there's subterfuge or if there's a movie magic there too, and then we'll do the Maryland shooting as well. Do you want to go one after the other? Okay, so do that. Let me bring up the first one here so we have a visual. So here we're talking about East Hall at U Massachusetts, Boston. Is this related here? Is this part of the plan for whatever is transpiring right now, or is this just another weird segregated event that doesn't tie into the news feed here today?
No, it's part of the plan.
Okay.
Part of the plan, part of the PSYOP. So they've got everybody's attention. I wonder what those universities were known for. Are they Christian universities? Are they heavy with trans activity? What's going on? Like, because we got to suit all the narratives they're trying to hit, right?
Well, Ben Shapiro was out today, and he said that he had on his schedule a bunch of tours of universities. They're trying to get to the young vote here, right? Yeah. And he said they're not going to, the left or the crazy left here, or whoever is behind this, are not going to discourage the right and their voice here talking to the youth in university. He says, if you think I'm going to stop my tour, F you is what he said. I'm looking for the video now, but basically that would be why the universities are targeted here. They're trying to prevent the MAGA movement, the truther movement to hit the universities, because the universities are in fact the stronghold for the woke shit. Like those are the guys who are being paid to propagate this stuff. Yep. And so they want to keep that narrative as best they can. And to do that, it's like, okay, well, don't come speak to our students about the reality or ask tough questions. How dare you, right? So that's probably the way this is tying in and why they're targeting the university in this particular case, Janine. Yeah. Happy with that? Yeah. Do you want to? Okay, so it is connected. So we've got that one. So let me move to the second one, which was the Naval Academy here in Annapolis. This one too. So breaking news now, multiple victims here. I don't know if they're deaths, but definitely victims after a government opened fire. So let's ask the same question. Is this also tied in? Because here we're going to see a pattern. If you're getting another yes here, we're getting a very quick escalation within one day. And then we could probably do, after this 7-card pull, to look at the next week here and see how this continues or doesn't. And, you know, we had news, was it yesterday, Janine, or the day before, that Barron Trump from his university now is moving into the White House. So a lot of people are suggesting to go down, and the family wants him close and in more close quarters for protection. So that might be tying in also. I'll ask you that same question here. I'll try to find that feed. And so on this one too, Maryland, connected?
It feels more legit. I wonder what they're going to say about it. I want to know what they're saying about it, because there's something woo here. So there's this woo card. She's truth and integrity in the woo community and very intuitive. So I think we're being asked to use our intuitive discernment in this one. And then we've got the Queen of Cups here, which indicates that something bad happened there. And then we've got this ace down here. So I think we're going to lose one person there for real, and it could be a woman.
But I was asking, is this, generally speaking, tied in to creating us or putting us on this path to civil war? The first two are, apparently. Is this one also? Is this another angle here in this war?
Yeah, I'm not getting a yes about that. I should have seen the yes.
Okay, yeah.
Let me just pull two more. Somebody really wanted this to happen, and it was someone coming from a political angle. I don't think we've got the same group. So this doesn't feel like the White Hat Alliance. This feels like another group.
Some rogue element somewhere.
Who planned it. Yeah.
Some rogue element. Okay. Jules929 has a great question. Let's bring that in here right now as we're looking at all this. She says, JC, we know these things get to us here to look here and not there. what are we being distracted from? Is there a big distraction at play? Or is it more, we want to look at this to train your mind, to enrage you to go fight on the streets here, because we need to put martial law down, and this is the way we're going to get to it, because all of you are going to get panicky here about being targeted as truthers or MAGA people? Great question, Jules. So is it a distraction from something else? If so, what's that something else? Or is it rather, no, they want us to focus on this here because they're trying to gin this up somehow?
It feels related to the war, so the information war. It feels like it's another way that they're trying to get people's attention and show them how things happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say they're prepping up for when the inevitable, when the people find out about justice has been served. So this will help them look legit, like it was okay to do all those tribunals. I've been getting that for a long time. Yeah. They're kind of covering their butts for future information coming out. They need everybody okay with that before they let that cat out of the bag. Or a lot of people. They need a lot of people okay with that.
Yeah. So yesterday we were looking at the smoking gun on Fauci, and we were also looking at a smoking gun for Bill Barr. And so a distraction from those tribunals coming up. Do you see that?
Okay. Some of this might be. Here we've got, this can be a smoke and mirrors card, and this is an ace, which is a yes. So I think some of that is.
Okay.
I think it's a lot of things. I think they utilize these things and they really work it.
Yeah.
Because look at how many things they've signaled that the shooter could be. They could be Israeli.
Yeah, Israeli. Yeah,
they could be an old white guy. They could be, oh, he was Jewish. They could be, like a whole bunch of stuff out there. Yeah,
it's like really everything fun. In the kitchen sink at the same time. They're
going to hit everything. They're going to get everybody involved in what's going on.
Okay. Let's go ask about Trump here, Barron, before we forget. So President Trump is moving Barron back into the White House. Shit's about to hit the fan here. So says this tweet. Is that the case? Is that just normal procedure? We've had kids in the White House before, but he wasn't there for a while. Now suddenly he is. Why? Why the move, Janine? Let's just look at that.
They know something you don't.
Uh-huh.
Hidden information that's known to some and not to you. So we got the Queen of Swords there. Okay, that could be about threats. She's very threatening. Okay, there's been threats. Family threats. Yep. They feel under siege or threat. Okay, so they feel like they're under siege or threat. They see a valid threat. That's why they're doing it. A valid threat on the family.
Uh-huh. Sure.
He's just pulling in the wagons, keeping everybody close.
Okay. Supplemental. Are they going to be safe with this move?
Oh, you got the world, so that looks good. But okay, sorry, not
with that aspect.
You better do some more looks. Okay, so the world, when next to the moon, is someone leaves the Earth plane.
Yeah.
And they've finalized their. So this is my death card, and this is the world is an ending to something, but it can be a new beginning if you have a new beginning card. We don't have a new beginning card, so like that's a little interesting. Why don't somebody's definitely in danger of dying in the White House, like somebody in their family.
In that circle,
yeah, in that circle. I think we better maybe do a supplemental question on that. What do you think?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, that's scary, actually. It's like, can't just leave it there. It's like, oh.
No. We want a little bit more clarity here. And next up, guys, also, we're going to be looking at this. So basically, Kash Patel and Don Bongino, alongside the FBI, are now heading to Utah to assist the search for the gunman who targeted Charlie Kirk. And now this retired Green Beret, Nate, is saying, whoever they arrest, it's not going to be anywhere close. It's probably going to be a patsy. We're going to listen to that now too. It's funny that Kash Patel and Bongino are going there, and yet we still don't really know the whole story about Trump's assassination attempt. I think this is what this guy's going to get at here. We're going to go there next. So now Janine is saying, yes, here, somebody might be leaving the U.S. plane here on the previous question, and we're just trying to get a little bit more clarity here in the Trump circle.
They got a valid threat that they're be acting on, and it could be turned around. It's not absolutely, but it's a really valid threat. Like, they heard something very clear, and I feel like it could have even been, they used the way they found out was through advanced technology. So this could be through the looking glass situation where they saw something and they've been trying to back it up. Like, I feel like they look into the future, because this is interesting. They saw it maybe in a bad thing happen in a future, and they see this coming. But it's not just just the threat is bigger than like you and I, and we feel threatened. It's like they saw it in a future glimpse.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Let's get to this Patel and Bongino. I
feel like it's the boy too. So the threat is towards the young man.
Barron. Wow. I didn't want to hear that.
Yeah.
Wow. Shit.
So we'll put protect. I'm going to send him Ravens.
Absolutely. Guys in the chat, do the same.
Yeah.
And for everybody else who's out here in the truther community, we're targets. We're on the battlefield. It's clear. And again, whatever Cliff told me that time about the truthers being shot or killed or whatever, it was a big data set. It wasn't just a one-off. And so I probably texted him or emailed him, and I said, Cliff, as you're seeing that, he had mentioned it probably to me off the record during the show, and I had asked him, is that like the truther, like the fake truthers who were, spitting bullshit or trying to entrap people in cryptos or whatever the fuck they were, that now people were getting kind of smart and savvy and going after them for some reason, right? Because you remember he was saying, some of those guys are not going to do too well in the future here. They're going to be caught for their scams. He was talking about specific truthers. Cliff was, okay? And you guys remember who he was going after. And he said, well, no, the data at this point is not clear on whether it's going after truthers who were kind of fraudsters or whether or not it was just truthers, generally speaking. But it was the archetype here of that data set, and there was a lot of information in it. So it was suggesting that this was going to be ongoing and coming into our field of view, at least in a big way, for a period of time for that to come up in that way. I think is the way he had positioned it at the time. So. All right, so now Bongino, Patel. A lot of people are suggesting that maybe these people are going to be replaced soon. Not too content that maybe Trump's not too content with what they're doing. I don't know if that's still the case. They're still standing today. Are they going to Utah to cover shit up, Janine? Or are they going to Utah to redeem and embellish their reputations? What are these guys up to here? What's going on? I saw, in was it Butler, Pennsylvania, where Trump got shot? Like the day after, the FBI's were hosing down the roof of the building where supposedly the shooter was. They were like hosing down the DNA and everything. Are you kidding me? Is this going to happen in Utah? Are these guys going to hose it down, or are they going to actually find somebody? What's going on?
No, they're definitely not going to find anybody. No way. Yeah. Something else happens. We got those two cards again.
Yeah.
Something else, a near death or a death happens that takes their attention away again.
Near death or a death.
And
Okay.
then we changed the channel, and now we're not talking about Charlie anymore. We're talking about somebody else.
Okay, well, hold those cards and hold that thought. I'm going to play this. It's a 34-second clip here from this Green Beret. And let's see if he's giving you clues about that bottom row in your pool here.
Take here. Hopefully we provided some good information for you guys. Again, I'm not going to tell you how to think or what to think. But yeah, I don't believe if they do find someone now or going forward, the odds of that actually being the shooter, I think, is slim to none. Will we get someone that's sort of arrested and accused? And yeah, I mean, probably it's going to be very hard for the FBI at this point, after all their build claims of having the shooter apprehended, to not find someone, especially with something as high profile as this.
Okay. Not so much there to help you with that bottom row in terms of a death and then a redirect. Do you want to do a supplemental on that? Like, what does that look like? Is that a couple of days? Is there a timing on it? What do we need to know for me?
So there's a viable threat right now. I still think we're talking about a Baron or a young man. I mean, I know that Charlie Kirk was a young man as well, but
Yeah.
I'm feeling like even younger than that.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so a little younger than that. And so we've got a viable threat that they're acting on. And I feel like all eyes will be, or all energy will shift over to this. And there could be a death, another death. I mean, I hope I'm wrong about it.
Yeah. Wow. Whew. Okay. We have to look a little bit at the ET file here, because again, we have 3-Eye Atlas that's doing some weird shit. People are looking at some of its maneuvers, the different colors we've seen in the last week, suggesting it's blinking at us in a different color. Some are suggesting it might actually be slowing down, like in a control burn right now, to park somewhere. Again, suggesting it's not a comet. We have all that. But on top of that, we have this news story about Mars, which was kind of like there's so much news coming out this week that nobody talked about this, but NASA is claiming that they may have found potential evidence of life on Mars. A rock sample collected by the Perseverance rover from the dried up river channel may contain signs of ancient microscopic organism. We had that a couple of years ago. Remember when Bill Clinton was in power, they found this meteorite somewhere here north of Canada, especially it was for Mars, and there might have been signs of, microbial life in it. And then they kind of like pushed this aside and no, it was debunked, or these were just striations in the rocks, or blah, blah, blah. They're at this again. When I saw this, I was like, really? This is the best we could do to talk about ETs right now, is maybe perhaps microbial life in a rock? I thought it was kind of funny, but it begs the question, why are they out with this right now in the narrative? Are they building up to 3-Eye Atlas to, yes, there's life outside of this planet, and they're regurgitating some old news stories to try to bring us up slowly up to speed? Or is this a distraction? Or is this code for something else completely different here?
It does look kind of politically motivated in the past, or you could say it this way. In the past, all this kind of information was always put through politics. So we only got what they wanted us to hear. That's a way you could read that, because then it's interesting, because this is finally real truth is coming to the masses. So I feel like this 3-Eye Atlas is going to be a big shift in where we actually find out truths. Somehow, just even the reporting on it's gotten out of the hands of the people that used to repress it.
Yeah.
That's what I think. Okay, so regardless because for years I've got deep dived on NASA, that it was a big black ops operation, but I think it's been taken over by the White Hat Alliance, and I feel like they maybe use it for good, or at least they're controlling the narrative that's coming out of there. So some of it's true and some of it is trying to show you how they lie. That's what it feels like. But here we've got the Queen of Cups here. So that's while everybody's looking over there. Meanwhile, 3i Atlas is, I think it is really going to change the dial on the information around it. And I feel like it's coming, and it's going to cause a big stir one way or the other. Humanity, like a breakthrough. Lots of breakthroughs happen, but Judgment card is wake up, wake the hell up. Like it's the breakthrough is that these guys exist. They travel long distances, like some of their. Maybe we'll get a glimpse of how they operate somehow. And I know it's going to be really far away, but I got a feeling we'll be able to somehow learn a lot more about how these guys operate, or how these off-worlders, or at least some of them do. We're going to get more definitively up front with the real truth about otherworldlies or other dimensional beings. That's for sure.
Yeah. Patriot Florida says, what is 3i Atlas? It's the third interstellar object to ever visit Earth, at least in terms of how far we've been recording and having the ability to record. The first one was Oumuamua. We did recordings on this a number of years ago, Janine and I, and now we're at the third one, and it's exhibiting similar patterns than Oumuamua to suggest that maybe it's intelligently controlled, and it's doing some things in its trajectory that suggest that it was planned somehow. So that's what people are freaking out about here since its discovery. I think it was on July 1st. And oddly enough, Cliff had said we're going to be talking about ETs in a big way in July, and he had forecast that months before. So kudos to Cliff on that one. And right now, speaking of Cliff, I saw a tweet from him earlier today. He said, we don't know now, and that aspect of 3i Atlas will be soon taking center stage around October 1. Here they're talking about this artificial light again. I think it just moved green this week. People are suggesting that it was like a 10 gigawatt energy burst a month ago, the light coming out of this thing, and now that changed here just recently. But at any rate, Cliff is saying now, October 1st, we're going to be talking about this one in a big way. So more and more people will know about it. Can you do a 3-card pull on that? It's like, are we in for it for October? Is this part of the narrative somehow? Or is this thwarted too by some of these deaths that you're looking at on the last 2 or 3 pulls, Janine? The ETA for 3i Atlas, people were asking, I believe by the trajectory they're talking about now, it'll be here end of October, maybe behind the sun or parked behind the moon by as early as early November. I think that was the last ETA, guys. Janine, yes, for October? We're talking about it?
October, yes.
Huh.
That's literally the October card, and yes.
Okay.
Remember, October's like lots of Librans born in October, from the end of September to the 20th of October. And this is a Libran, nods to Librans. It's got the scales and everything. Yeah, Libran energy, yes. And this is moving in that direction. But there will be other things. That's not a major arcana, but it'll be a big part of the news for sure.
Okay. Liz 56D, JC, will 3i Atlas get the Alliance to show themselves? Like, does this bring out the Space Force in a much bigger way somehow, and the Alliance or the Secret Space Program somehow? Is that in the cards for us?
It's more a close-up on the uniqueness of these beings. Surrender to, so that's not a yes.
Okay,
that's not a yes. And there could be like shocking revelations that what these energies are like, what they're capable of.
Okay.
Upset or shock, or people have revelations about the world because of it. Right.
Well, that could be. Yeah. That could be the tipping point that Cliff was talking about, to where nothing is the same after. He didn't say what percentage, but he says enough. Whatever the percentage is, doesn't matter. But if enough of humanity reached that tipping point where nothing is the same and they don't want to be fooled anymore, or their whole worldview has changed, that looks like it could be part of it here with the Tower card.
Yeah.
You want to say something, Janine? Sorry, you were frozen there.
No, you're absolutely right. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you're right on.
Okay. We're being treated also. Oh, hold on. Let me answer that question. I'm so excited. That's a cool nickname. Why is Cliff anti-Selenite? Okay, so when Cliff refers to Selenites, he's talking about those on the moon. And so those who control us from the moon. So he's anti those people, Selenites, who are controlling humanity here from the dark side of the moon. That's what that means. He's explained that a couple of times before. But great question, though. I'm so excited. I love that nickname. It's pretty cool. Okay, so next one is this. Let me see if I can go here. Luis Alessandro. Okay, so we've kind of refrained from talking about him too much. Once a spook, always a spook. But still, there's some information being put out here about these UFOs that are running circles around our Hellfire missiles. Some of the most advanced technology we have is being rendered obsolete here by this, and this was a recent leaked video. So let me play that clip. It's about a minute, and then we'll see if we can get some answers from the cards.
Air missile was certainly one of the most sophisticated, most capable types of air missiles that we have. We use it to prosecute the global war on terror, in the vernacular, if you will, warheads on foreheads, with such a degree of precision that we can literally fly it through a window and take out a bunch of terrorists. What you are seeing here is basically some sort of technology that is making our premier missile system completely and utterly useless, if you will. It is making it almost irrelevant. So imagine, for example, let's take away the word UAP. Just say this was some sort of adversarial technology, UAP technology from Russia. How do you think that would bode well for the Department of Defense and our national security, knowing that Russia has a capability that completely makes all our missiles completely ineffective? This is a significant problem from a strategic perspective, from a tactical perspective, from a national security perspective.
Okay, Lou. Here's a weird thing here, and this is where I'm getting at, and I'm just thinking outside the box. Just last week and a month ago too, Trump was out saying, "Oh, we have this crazy technology, the likes of which nobody's ever seen before. Like, basically, you guys don't want to fuck with us." That was the message, right? And this kind of started with the Golden Dome initiative. He was talking about that, and he kind of reinforced that last week. Here, these guys are saying, "Oh, our state-of-the-art technology is being undermined by this weird UAP. We don't know what it is. It could be alien. It could be Russia." But basically, it's kind of a shame here for the U.S. Department of War that their tools are no longer useful. So it's kind of weird. They're sucking and blowing at the same time with this report. But here, Janine, I guess the first question from the cards is this UAP actually the technology that Trump is talking about, showing that these missiles are completely useless now? They have better technology. Is this ours, or is this off-world stuff kind of putting us to shame here? What's going on in this video? What's going on with this conversation?
I'd say that's the white hat alliances. That's where it came from. It's part of the war. So what that guy was showing you was a war battle. We're in war, right? And it was, they're fighting the deep state, the dark cult. They've been doing it for a long time. Yeah, and this is interesting because I don't think the deep state dark cult entities knew they had this. They've been keeping it right under wraps. So we've got a glimpse of something. So I guess in a way that's a yes to your question.
Huh. Okay. Fascinating. Well, anyways, on that front, this whole technology thing, the Golden Dome, really haven't heard Trump talk about. Oh, last week he kind of brought it up again and says, "Oh yeah, Canada called. They want to be part of it. They do what we say." It was kind of funny. And then the CBC asked Mr. Carney, "Did you talk to Trump?" He says, "Yeah. I talked to Trump. It was a fulsome conversation." Well, what are you guys talking about? Oh, we talked about a fulsome list of topics. It's like, oh my god, it's absolutely hilarious. Did you see the thing about Carney supposedly running a marathon and then he showed his medal and then it's like, oh wait, people zoomed in on it. It was like 2015. What do you mean 2025? Like, what is it? Anyways, it's hilarious.
I can't stand looking at the guy, so I don't click on any of his stuff. I just can't do it.
Janine and I are just having fun with Canadian politics, guys, and just to give you a quick update on some of the stuff that's happening here on the criminal front. The cops a couple of weeks ago, you remember we had these home invasions, people got killed in one case. The other case, the victim, the homeowner, fought back, and now this person is facing homicide charges for fighting back and protecting himself from an intruder at 3 a.m., supposedly with a crossbow. So crazy stuff. The police chief came out. He says, "Oh, just comply with the criminals, because it's going to make you a better witness." And I'm like, what? It's going to make you a better witness. You can't witness anything if you're dead, if your wife is being raped in front of you. Like, are you kidding me? Like, this is just ridiculous. There's another story. I think it was in London, Ontario, where the municipality was asking residents to remove their security cameras from their homes because it was, quote unquote, invading on privacy of people walking by the street. And the homeowner had already helped the cops 2 or 3 times with those same cameras, detecting crime and bringing justice to that particular neighborhood. Absolutely crazy stuff going on here. Guys, we're almost there at the end of the show. I want to give away some prizes here tonight, and to do that with me, of course, is the lovely Carla from Ascension Organites. Carla, welcome back. How are you?
Hi Jesse. Hi Janine. How are you guys doing?
Doing well. Isn't it just a crazy news week this week, Carla? Like,
yes. Definitely yes.
Can I go with you and just do a woosah and create some pyramids and get my hands dirty for a couple of days just to clear my head? Like,
you can absolutely whenever you want to. Yeah, okay, we can do a pyramid making retreat or something.
Yeah. Are you gonna make tacos or burritos or something cool?
Yeah, some Latin food or something like that.
Latin food? Okay, I'm all in. Janine, you like Latin food?
Yep.
Do you like spicy stuff, Janine? Do you like
Not
spicy?
too spicy, but I do like the taste of it.
Taste. Okay. And how about you, Carla? Do you do like super hot stuff or no?
No, we don't need. I mean, we do, but that's not too much. Yeah.
Not too much.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let me bring up the poster here for the draw this evening. You got some cool special edition t-shirts here. These are Descending Ravens t-shirt in white and in black. Right now, guys, if you want to get these 10% off, use the coupon code Beyond Mystic there on ascensionorganize.com. Janine, do you want to ask a question to the audience members tonight about maybe one of your pulls or your quick draw to give this one away? What do you think?
Let's see. Oh boy. Okay, I'll do a real easy one.
Okay.
So when we have a question up, and it could be a real definitive yes, no. What happens when you get an ace in the first 3 cards down? What does that mean? Is that yes? Is that no? Which one is it?
All right. Pretty easy.
So easy.
So easy. Guys, while we wait for that to populate again, check out ascensionorganize.com. And Carla, you have quite a few new products coming up in the fall season. Can you speak about some of the new organites also that you're working out in the background? And also, a lot of people were asking last time you were on the show if they were going to get the opportunity to buy more of those elite shungite pendants with the silver chains that your family was producing also. What's the update on those?
Still working on them. We had to put them a little bit on the back burner because we were working on so many other cool things, especially those t-shirts. But yeah, there's a lot of things coming from now to the end of the year that are pretty cool. I'm excited about organite pendants, more type of shungite, even new shapes of pyramids. So yeah, I'm very excited.
Oh yeah! Whoa! Hold the horses.
I'm not gonna give away too much.
What's the new shape?
Well, I found the golden, the mold for the golden ratio.
The golden ratio one. Oh wow!
Yeah.
Cool. Oh wow! Hey, did you know, guys? There are some people out there who bought every single pyramid Carla has ever made. Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
Oh, man. I met quite a few of your customers when we were doing the Beyond Mystic conference, and I was like, man, people just love your stuff and they keep collecting them. Absolutely cool. Okay, so let me go back to the Rumble feed here. We'll try to see if we can pick a winner. I'll bring that up on the screen. Carla, if you want to give me the stop, and we'll pick a winner here.
Stop.
All right. My cursor went on Rosie Thorne. Did this person win? Like, isn't that odd? Like, there's thousands of people. The cursor stops at Rosie Thorne 884. Oh, maybe it's a different
That's
Rosie
familiar.
Thorne. Yeah. But there's a lot of Rosie Thorns out there. I guess it's a good nickname. 8847. Yes, that was the answer. That's really good. So send me an email. Go to beyondmystic.net. Top of the page. Just send me an email there through a tech support form. We need to know their size, Carla, and their address. That's it. And you can send that out to them. Okay, very good. Do we want to do a second one? What do you think?
You can do a white one and a black one. So we can do the black one now. The black one is new because we got so many emails requesting it. So
Black
we
one.
just yeah.
I like the white one too, but the black is cool. Okay, so sending ravens in the black, and just remind me here: are these unisex, or they're picking female or male, or they're unisex, and then you choose your size?
And the fit is really cool for both. So
really cool. Okay. So guys, we're gonna give away the black one now. Carla, I don't know. Do you have a question for the audience? Something with an easy answer?
Put me on the spot.
I know the question. What was the name of the very first pyramid Carla gave on this show?
Ooh.
Do you remember, Carla?
I think I do. Was it the black and gold?
Hey.
No, that's not the name. That's not the name.
No. Wait. Oh, now I'm confused. Oh,
it could have been the other one. The one that had other colors.
I think the first one you gave me, honestly, it was named for a kid who had autism. No? And it wasn't your kid. It was the other kid.
That's how we met.
Oh, but there was a pyramid that was channeled for some other kid. It wasn't your kid. It was another kid. Whose kid was it?
I don't remember that, JC.
Yeah. Sherry Divman's kid. No?
I got a question.
No. We met through Sherry. And no, remember, it was Sherry channeled a message from my son. And came into your show and talked about the message that my son gave for all humanity.
Okay. For some reason, I thought there was a pyramid name for whoever that kid was channeling. No?
No, the name he gave was Eden. I remember.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got those stories confused. Okay. Janine, you have another question then?
I got a better question now.
Okay.
I got to my question game. Okay. So when I send ravens, what am I sending you? When I say I'm sending you ravens, what am I sending?
Okay, very good. While we wait for that to populate, guys, please go and support Janine here. You can find her at tarotbyjanine.com for about the price of a cup of coffee a month here. You get all the answers, questions here, and you get all the news. You can ask questions. You're part of a big community there as well. Janine does the monthly zodiac spread as well, leaning into the next month here for forecasting, and from time to time also some really cool interviews. So check it out, $4.99, and it supports Janine and it helps her be able to do all these free shows here on Rumble. So big thank you to you guys supporting Janine there. So Janine, write for me on the side here specifically, because there's a lot of answers that could be right, or I just want to make sure we're picking the right one here. Let's see.
Where do I write?
I know it's a little bit more complicated here right now. How do I do that? Is it this one?
Is it this little pencil?
Yeah, no. It's changed, eh? I'm not sure now. We used to have a side chat. I know I don't see it.
Oh, shoot.
Where did he go?
He's probably going to investigate.
Yeah. It might be where it says studio chat. But I don't know. I'm not sure.
No, everybody's adding their comments there. I guess I could take this down. We don't see you, Jean-Claude.
How'd that happen? There you go.
In the US. I won't say exactly where, because I can't remember right off the bat here. But yesterday I did a look at it with Jean-Claude. So a first look, and of course, I'm going to be looking at it probably for weeks to come. But my first look started to get really interesting. It was complicated. This does not look like what it appears. Okay, so we're seeing that it appears that he got murdered in front of our eyes. But in fact, there's some evidence already surfaced. It's almost like they botched the PSYOP. Okay, so it's already being outed as truly a PSYOP already. Like anyone with any discerning eyes to see, whether you're mega, not mega, in this community, not in this community, when you watch what's going on, they've already found where his hands are holding. We got a visual of that, Coco. Find the one where his hands are side by side. So 1 second from another in the video footage, so it looks like it must be CGI, his ring is now put somewhere else. Okay, so he's got his ring on one finger and then it's on another finger within seconds after. Okay, so as he's speaking, they might have filmed this in a few different parts. That could be what's going on there. Okay, so there's that. Then there's a whole bunch of hand signaling, and a lot of people are slowly, and even people in this truther community, because we're into truth. Okay, and we're not that stupid. We're actually really smart. This community is smart, and we're really discerning and quick to notice. There's a whole bunch of discrepancies. The biggest being and the most glaring, that his death was announced overseas by the New York Times. No, who was it? Who did it overseas? Find the one, Coco, where it's announced. Find the one where they announced it hours before he actually got shot. Okay. It was being announced in the UK. Here we go. This one. Let's play this.
Okay. So those who are seeing this all about Charlie Kirk, first of all, I am devastated. I am stressed. I hope he's okay. I was just Googling this and something blew my mind. This just happened September 10th. If you look on Google right now, 19 hours ago, posted by New York Times and Los Angeles Times, 19 hours ago, saying Charlie Kirk was shot.
Yeah.
19 hours ago would have been September.
Yeah, we'll stop it there. Unbelievable. And I saw that yesterday, okay, by a few different people catching that one. Okay, so something's up here, something's fishy, but it's so fishy, and we know how smart the white hats are. So I think they're purposely putting this right in your face. There's another thing interesting about it. So Charlie Kirk, if you don't know who he was, by now you've looked him up, you know that he's a young fella with a young family, almost the most perfect white straight family you've ever seen. It's almost pretty suspicious looking to me, but you know me, right? Okay, I'm a little suspicious that they created this family dynamic. Okay, this guy could have been placed in the White Hat Alliance, you know, like they knew they were going to use him down the road, use his brand, and have this false flag with this guy in mind, okay? Because he was really, really liked by the youth. He'd go to universities. He would do these debate where he would openly debate trans and people trans interested and or people with, against his stance on abortion, which is there should be no abortion. He was against the trans movement. So he'd debate people that were pro-trans. He would debate people that were climate change. Like every single, he'd hit all of the marks. He was the ultimate perfect truther for, like, say, a community like this, in a way, other than he was a little alt Christian, like, for my personal liking, because you guys know what I think about any organized religion suspect. Okay, so his wife's known as, but maybe they put him in place to appeal to the Christian megas, which makes sense because there's a lot of those guys, right? And all of his ideas, they tick my boxes too. So he just gets a little black and white about them. Okay, has no wiggle room, but as far as I'm concerned, he's on the mark on most things. Okay, but he had the poster white straight family, which is a little suspicious. We have to be discerning these days, guys. Okay, did they create this? Because we know that the royals are all created. Now, that was the bad guys creating the visuals of who the royals are married to, supposedly, and what their kids look like. Those are all photo ops they use. They even use different groups of children as they go along in a lot of these families, okay? So we know they do that on the bad guy side. We know they do that in this war. We've discovered that the side of that is the dark side that the White Hat Alliance is fighting. They all do that, but are they using the same tactics, the White Hat Alliance, against these guys? Okay, so all through Obama's years, there was nonstop. Do you guys remember? Right from the minute he got in, it was nonstop school shootings, and it was always just a perfect storm of exactly the people they were against, right? The Dems were against. That's always who the shooter was every single time. It was absurd. Like, it was unbelievable. Whatever their dynamic was, it was always to take away the guns and to point out who the shooters were always really conveniently who they were going up against. Okay, that's now happening. And by the way, a lot of those shootings got absolutely proven, at least in this community, to be total false flags. Okay, just look into some of that. Okay, look into some of that background. But meanwhile, the White Hat Alliance looks like they're doing the same damn thing. Okay, but why are they doing the same damn thing? I feel like they're educating us, first of all, on what it looks like, and that these guys did that all along. And this is how it looks from the other side. So it gets everybody looking at it. Okay, and isn't it convenient that they get to call out, because all of these new shooters that they're coming up with in the US, they're always trans or some kind of against MAGA or whatever it is, right? So it's exactly the opposite psyop. Okay, but they're playing out the same scenario, but they've been really sloppy lately. Like, their latest ones have been really, and this one's the sloppiest. It was so quick to discover that this has got to be a psyop. Okay, so here's the thing we're going to ask. We're going to ask, was Charlie Kirk created as a person? Okay, like, I believe maybe, well, a lot of people are. They're placed in movements way ahead of time, because he's been around for a lot of years. But was he placed? Okay, this guy, how did he end up being so close to Trump and everything? Like, is he White Hat Alliance read in and placed in the movement to be part of this theater? That would mean his family's probably created to some degree, et cetera, or just conveniently I believe they even picked out his whole family for him because they needed it to look a certain way. Okay, because this is a theater we're watching, but it's a life and death theater because this is what's waking up the public. This that we're watching here, the greatest movie ever, like Q's been known to call it. I truly believe it's what's waking people up. And it's hard to watch, and it's difficult to deal with, and it's hard to understand because it gets convoluted. But that's my belief in what the cards have been saying for years now, right? I got that from what the cards have been saying. So let's ask about this guy. Is he totally just naturally just a guy, came into it just the way they say he did? From the time he was little, they say he was political, yada, yada. Or do we have a plant here that was created on purpose? And some people believe he might even be like a hybrid like Trump is. So they could have even, the alliance could have created them. And we'll see, there's hybrid cards for that. Like we'd have to see the Hermit and or the Star or both of those for him to be a hybrid. But let's have a look. So him himself, or is he just a naturally occurring guy? We'll see that too. Minor arcanas, we'll talk about that. Court cards. Okay, so we've got the Two of Wands. So that's way ahead of time, looking way ahead. And we've got the 3. We've got the Page. Okay. I don't think he was planted right from the get-go. I think they saw him about 3 years ago and took him under their wing. So they were watching him for a while, and they took him under their wing because they saw that he could appeal to. So the guy was naturally, so I'll have to step back on my comments and apologize to his wife and kids. They're probably real. Sorry, and I don't mean to, I'm just like, we got to question everything. Okay, so I'm really apologizing to them. Okay, but this card says, no, he actually was just himself, just like he's presented. Hey, the cards don't always agree with my theories, right? And that's okay. That's why I use cards. Okay, they double check. The universe gives me the heads up what's really going on here. And it looks like they saw him. So the White Hat Alliance saw him and placed him and got him involved in the war. So he's working with the White Hats, it looks like, but he would have been called in. First, they watched him for a while. He would have been called in, and they kind of specifically wanted him to go after the delusional, I think the woke stuff. Okay, so the stuff that was going on in schools and universities. Okay, so they saw him as somebody that could work with, they could work with. So he's brought into the war that way. Okay, and see that big ace there? I feel like this information will come out to the public. Maybe not right away, but I'd say within a year, we're going to publicly know. And I bet you they just got him in hiding. So that's totally wild. Now let's look at, so the way they're presenting the whole thing. So Coco, bring up that one. Did I share any videos where they're saying, the one about the witch hunt, like they're basically saying that some Dems got together and actually put an evil spell on him. Okay, so what I think they're doing with them, so there's a whole bunch of videos that came out that said the Dems are laughing at him, laughing at his family that he got killed there, and they're like just being insane, showing themselves to be literally insane. Okay, so laughing about someone's murder. Okay, so that's very convenient to me, okay, being a discerning truther person. It's concerning to me. I mean, I get what the White Hat Alliance might be doing with that, though, but I want to make sure I'm right about this. There's so much shared that's basically saying these guys are actually laughing about this guy's death. Are those all faked? Are they all CGI? Are they all actors doing that? Because they're always showing really unhinged, usually liberal women. And they're really hard on the liberal women, by the way. It's horrifying. And how they present them. And it's always the same shtick. They usually have either blue hair, nose rings, which is unfortunate because I've got a nose ring, and or like something about them. They always have these certain looks about them, and they're always unhinged and deranged and kind of like not very attractive, or they're shown in the most unattractive light. Okay, so it's pretty obvious it's a propaganda to me, where they're saying all of these Dems are laughing at the death of, and it seems ridiculous to me that they do that publicly because they're going to be shamed for that. That's not going to bode well when you're on a public forum. Are some of those real? Are all of them faked by White Hat Alliance? Because it's really to their advantage. Because you got to look at who's got the advantage of this killing. Because literally any public figures nowadays, I question everything that's happening to them. And you have to look at who's got the upper hand and advantage when that happens. how does that look, and what spotlight does it put on? You have to ask all of those questions now. We have to do it. There's no other way to go forward, never have this happen to our world again where we're completely enslaved. Yeah, let's have a look. So we've got the Magician there. Yeah, that's my theater card. How did I ask that again? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. How many of these? I would say here, looking at this, that a big majority, but some of them are real. Okay. Some of them are real. So then you get your actual fools putting themselves on social media, laughing at the murder of someone, and yeah, that's just not okay. That's just not okay. But I would say that a large portion of them are put out as a propaganda tool by the Alliance. You bet. You bet. Wow. Not all of them, though. I think some of those are actually real. Whew, okay. Now I want to shout out a great opportunity. If you guys haven't got some of these soaps yet, 30% off. That's a wicked deal on selected soaps with the code BM30. And that's Elin's, what do we got here? Elin, Flora Lynn Blooms and Botanicals. I just wanted to make sure I said that properly. So that's her website there. You want to go check that out. It's an awesome deal. End of the summer kind of deal. All right. Now, because we're living through totally wild, unpredictable, and hard to navigate times, like I know I say it every time, but I'm just going to say again, we are in some wild times. How do we navigate exactly? How do we navigate these tricky times? I'm going to ask that again, because I think we need the support every single day. It gets crazier, right? But we can't lose those cards. That was a whole batch of them every single day. Yeah, it's like we're in territory we've never been in. I believe even soulfully, human race has never been in this territory. This is wild times. So we're going to need the support. So we're going to ask the universe, how can we support ourselves going forward and people we love? How do we do that? So the Magician, so understand there's a lot of theater out there and don't trust everything you see. Okay. And it looks to me like they're even trying to signal maybe just to this community or see how many people are paying attention with that whole Charlie Kirk thing. It looked to me like, and tell me what you think in the comments, really just tell us what you think in the comments here. If you think I'm right off, or do you think there might be some truth to this? It feels to me like they did it on purpose to purposely even make it really easy to spot. Okay, very similar to some other psyops that have happened in the last year. Okay, so let me know in the comments what you think about that. Okay, I really want to know. And if anybody literally knows the family, okay, let us know too. And what are they like as a family? I'm dying to know, and I'm dying of curiosity. Okay, so there we've got the Star. We've got, look at all those major arcanas. Oh my goodness. Okay, so to realize we're in tricky times. And when we're in tricky times, you're going to need, and this is going to sound nuts, but a bit of a sense of humor and not take everything to heart and personally. Let it sit for a day or two. Keep watching what comes out about it. Discern with your eyes. Don't believe anything at face value till you investigate. Look into it. Look around it. Look who has to gain from the situation, who has to lose from it. Have a look all around. Don't take anything at face value. That's what that tells me, because there's trickery everywhere. All the sides are using it. Okay. It is a war. Okay. So sometimes we got to just stay out of the way of that, because they are trying to, and it is working what they're doing. It looks like, because that card says what they're doing is working. So we got to let them to it, even if we don't like it. A lot of people will probably be angry even that they hear that this was a psyop on the part of the White Hats. Okay. Even if, they may not believe me that it was, but that's what the cards are saying. So I'm going to just go with that. Okay, so here we've got that devil. So it's bedeviling and tricky. Absolutely. The universe is agreeing. It feels like we're vulnerable in a way because we're the ones like always at the expense of, because it's like we're in the middle of the war zone. And nothing like this has ever happened before. It's an information war. Okay, so it's tricky, and it's mostly about what your eyes are seeing, and it's mostly about you're being lied to from every corner. And I feel like now the white hats are doing it because they want to teach us how the other guys do it and just what to look for. Okay, so think about it that way. And it does look like it's working on their behalf. And there's going to be more of this. It's not ended just yet. Okay, but more and more people are figuring it out really fast. So to take heart in that, how fast everybody figured this out. And things are going to speed up. We're on a whole nother, it's almost like this took us to a whole nother level where it'll be so obvious. They're not even going to be able to pull this off anymore. Okay. And more people are becoming aware of what's going on out there, which is the whole idea. Okay. So try not to get bogged down in sadness. See the very big picture. Now we get that a lot with the advice, but I'm going to say it again. Try to have a really big picture of how the world's improving and not only looking at right up close, all the things you don't like about what's happening right now. Thank you so much, everybody. And don't forget, come on over to tarotbyjanine.com if you like the work I do.
Có sư phụ của ý ở đây. Một lát nữa công bố ra âm mưu của ý thì chỉ e là chú Nhượng Hồ sẽ tấn công, làm thương đến người khác. Dương Lăng gật đầu đáp lại rồi nhẹ nhàng hỏi: Vương gia có việc gì không? Thục Vương thấy có động thì bèn mở mắt ra nhìn, thấy đó là Dương Lăng thì bèn cố gắng ngồi dậy. Lão thái giám đứng bên cạnh bèn đỡ ông ta ngồi dậy, lấy chiếc gối đặt dưới lưng. Thục Vương miễn cưỡng cười lên một cái rồi nói: Cổ vương không có việc gì, dùng bữa trưa xong thì mới chợp mắt được một lát. Có một tên thích khách lao từ cửa sổ vào, vung đao lên chém. May mà có tiểu linh tử luôn ở bên cạnh ta như bóng với hình. Ơi, tên thích khách này thật là to gan. Dương Lăng nhìn thấy tử Chu Nhượng Hù, trên gương mặt y vẫn chỉ là hai tâm trạng phẫn nộ và lo lắng, vẫn chưa nhìn ra được một chút thần sắc khác thường nào. Tên thích khách đó đã chạy thoát sao? Thục Vương thản nhiên cười nói: Tuy nói rằng những năm qua vương phủ tương đối bình yên, nhưng cảnh giác thì chưa từng phút nào nơi lòng. Tên thích khách đó không có chạy thoát được đâu. Hơn nữa y còn trúng của tiểu linh tử một đao. Dương Lăng đột nhiên nhận ra, không thấy tiểu quận chúa đang ở đây. Tuy là muốn để cho vương gia được yên tĩnh, tạm thời ở điện phủ bên cạnh, nhưng ở trong hậu cung, đám phi tử không tiện tới. Không có nghĩa là con gái ruột lại không biết vụ vương của mình gặp thích khách mà lại làm ngơ hay sao? Dương Lăng thuận miệng hỏi: Quận chúa vẫn chưa hay tin này sao? Sắc mặt của Thục Vương đột nhiên trở nên khó coi. Thế tử Chu Nhượng Hồ nhìn Phụ Vương một cái rồi thấp giọng nói: Muội muội đi thăm nhị đệ, hiện không ở trong phủ. Nhị đệ cái gì? Tên súc sinh đó. Thục Vương dần đỏ mặt, một cơn ho dữ dội ập đến. Tiểu linh tử vỗ nhẹ vào sau lưng của ông ta. Thục Vương mới từ từ dễ chịu hơn, thở dài một cái và nói: Thích khách vừa mới chạy thoát, quan phủ địa phương còn chưa biết. Dương đại nhân đến nhanh như vậy, nhất định là không phải vì chuyện này rồi. Nhưng vụ án có manh mối gì chăng? Tuy miệng thì chửi mắng, nhưng khi nói tới thì giọng nói như đang kìm nén để không trở nên run rẩy. Vâng, hạ quan đã điều tra ra được một số manh mối. Cái này... Dương Lăng nhìn hai bên, Thục Vương bèn hiểu ý xua tay nói: Lùi ra hết cho ta. Thái y, thị vệ, tỷ nữ đều lần lượt lui ra. Thế tử Chu Nhượng Hù biết Phụ Vương không cho phép mình được tham gia chuyện này, cho nên cũng lẳng lặng chào Dương Lăng rồi quay người đi ra luôn. Dương Lăng vội vàng gọi theo: Thế tử, xin dừng bước, mời ngồi. Dương Lăng chỉ vào chiếc ghế ở cách xa Thục Vương nhất, dường như hắn mới là người chủ ở đây vậy. Chu Nhượng Hồ thoáng kinh ngạc nhưng cũng làm theo lời sắp xếp của Dương Lăng. Cửa đóng lại kêu một tiếng cộp. Trong phòng lúc này chỉ còn lại 4 người, Thục Vương, Thế Tử, Tiểu Linh Tử và Dương Lăng. Không khí ngay lập tức trùng xuống. Thục Vương thở gấp nói, Thế Tử ở lại thì ở lại cũng được. Nó chính là Thục Vương tương lai. Có những chuyện cũng có thể giấu nó được. Dương đại nhân, ngài nói đi, ta đang nghe đây. Dương Lăng hành lễ một cái, đi gần đến cạnh Thục Vương, ánh mắt nhìn chằm chằm vào Thế Tử Chu Nhượng Cận, đoạn nói, hạ quan đến khám xét nơi ở của Chu cô nương, tìm được một số thứ muốn để cho Vương gia và Thế Tử cùng xác minh. Dương Lăng lấy ra một cuốn sổ nhỏ, lật một trang đưa cho Thục Vương đọc. Vương gia, đây là bút tích của Chu cô nương, có đúng không? Thục Vương nheo mắt nhìn, đoạn gọi lớn, Hổ Nhi, con đến đây xem. Dương Lăng hạ tay xuống, khẽ khàng sờ vào chiếc súng ở thắt lưng. Chu Nhượng Hổ nghe thấy phụ thân gọi thì vội vàng tới xem những thơ từ trong cuốn sổ đó, gật đầu nói, đúng vậy, đây là bút tích của nhị muội. Khả năng nhẫn nhịn đóng giả thật cao siêu. Dương Lăng thầm cười nhạt, gương mặt không biểu lộ sắc thái nào, nói tiếp, mời Thế Tử về chỗ ngồi. Hành động này không chỉ khiến cho Chu Nhượng Hổ cảm thấy kỳ quái mà ngay cả đến Thục Vương cũng cảm thấy có gì đó khác thường. Ông ta yên lặng nhìn Dương Lăng một cái, đợi con trai của mình về chỗ ngồi, lúc đó mới đầy nghi hoặc mà hỏi tiếp, Dương đại nhân có vấn đề gì sao? Dương Lăng đáp, đây là một quyển nhật ký nhỏ của Mộng Vi cô nương, được giấu ở trong bản trang điểm của nàng ấy. Trong cuốn sổ này có ghi chép trần thuật lại những thi từ ca phú mà nàng ấy đã cảm thán mà viết lên. Cũng có ghi chép những tâm trạng và một số những chuyện quan trọng của riêng mình. Trong đó có cả những ghi chép về tình ngang của mình nữa. Thục Vương thất sắc vội vàng hỏi, người đó có phải là Nhượng Cận chăng? Trong cuốn sổ này chưa từng nhắc đến danh tính của người đó, nhưng lại có những câu chuyện liên quan. Ngoài trừ một người ra thì không còn ai có thể phù hợp hơn được nữa. Kẻ đó chính là... Dương Lăng từ từ giơ tay lên, ngón tay chỉ thẳng ra chỗ Chu Nhượng Hổ. Thế Tử điên lạc. Thục Vương chấn động cả người. Chu Nhượng Hổ giật nảy người, sắc mặt đanh lại nói, hoang đường, ngươi thật to gan, dám dựng cả những câu chuyện hoang đường như vậy để làm hại thanh danh của vương phủ. Động tác của Dương Lăng nhanh nhẹn vô cùng, một tay khác đã kịp lấy ra trong người khẩu súng nhắm thẳng về phía Thế Tử, lạnh lùng nói, Thế Tử cứ bình tĩnh, đừng nóng vội. Sao lại như vậy? Sao lại có thể? Thục Vương sắc mặt trắng bệch đến phát sợ, toàn thân run lẩy bẩy. Ngược lại Chu Nhượng Hổ thần sắc sau khi kinh ngạc thì đã nhanh chóng trở nên bình tĩnh, y cười điềm đạm nói, Dương đại nhân, vụ án này xem ra ngài phải điều tra thêm nữa rồi. Chu Nhượng Hổ ta quyết không làm ra những chuyện đồi bại xúc sinh như vậy đâu. Ngài dám bịa ra những tội danh như vậy thì phải xác định là sẽ gánh được hậu quả nhé. Dương Lăng châm biếm phản kích lại, Chu Nhượng Hổ không làm được, Chu Nhượng Cận lại có thể làm được hay sao? Chu Nhượng Hổ sắc mặt thay đổi thốt lên, như đây đương nhiên có phải là hung thủ, không có nhân chứng, không có lý do, chỉ dựa vào một miếng ngọc bội, ai có thể định tội cho đấy được cơ chứ? Dương Lăng cười nói, trước khi ta tới đây thì đã xem qua các điều khoản pháp luật của triều đình nền Minh. Chỉ dựa vào một miếng ngọc bội thì đương nhiên không thể nào định tội được cho Đường Tuyên Vương chi tử được, nhưng lại cộng thêm với tội dụng nghi can hung thủ giết người thì căn cứ theo tông luật của Hoàng thất Đại Minh, Chu Nhượng Cận điện hạ sẽ phải chịu sự quản thúc nghiêm ngặt của Thục Vương. Vương gia sắp truyền ngôi lại cho ngài, vậy thì nói theo cách khác, nhị điện hạ sẽ phải chịu sự quản thúc của ngài. Ngài đến cả sinh tử cũng nằm ở trong tay ngài, thì thử hỏi nhị điện hạ sống và chết thì có khác gì nhau đâu cơ chứ? Đương nhiên là không có gì ảnh hưởng đe dọa được đến địa vị của ngài nữa rồi, đúng không? Chu Nhượng Hổ vừa giận vừa kinh ngạc hét lên, Dương Lăng, người đang nói nhảm cái gì đó? Cuối cùng thì người cũng tức giận rồi đúng không? Thế Tử, xin hãy kìm lại cơn giận. Cái hôm vương gia quyết định chuyển ngôi, ta và Dương Thần cùng đi dạo trong vườn hoa, vô tình đã nhìn thấy ngài và một vị cô nương mặc y phục màu đỏ đang nói chuyện trong bụi cây. Vị cô nương đó đau khổ cầu xin, bộ dáng đáng thương, nhưng còn ngài thì liên tục từ chối. Sau cùng thì phủi tay áo quay lưng đi. Lúc đó Hạng Toàn tuy có cảm thấy kỳ lạ nhưng không hề bận tâm đến. Đại đồng doanh quan nhận vương lệnh điều tra vụ án, tiến hành kiểm tra tử thi nạn nhân bị sát hại thì hết kinh ngạc mà phát hiện ra rằng nạn nhân chú cô nương đó chính là người con gái đã nói chuyện với ngài ở trong hoa viên ngày hôm đó. Tiếp tục đối chiếu với nội dung trong cuốn nhật ký này thì mới xác nhận được rằng những bằng chứng liên quan. Dương Lăng dương cuốn sổ đó lên, lắc qua lắc lại, trầm giọng nói: Ông gian tư tình loạn luân, rồi sau đó sẽ lo sợ ảnh hưởng đến địa vị và tiền đồ của mình. Vậy nên sau khi rời khỏi hoa viên, càng nghĩ càng thấy không yên tâm, thế nên ngài mới quyết định trừ bỏ hậu họa. Cũng vừa hay có thể khiến cho nhị đệ của mình, người mà được lòng nhân dân hơn, tiếng tăm và uy tín, cùng với sức ảnh hưởng đối với các bộ tộc lớn hơn bản thân mình rất nhiều, phải gánh tội chịu phạt. Chính vì thế nên ngài mới đưa ra cái mưu kế một mũi tên trúng 2 con chim đó. 15 vị tổ ty ở ba tộc đều có quyền lực hết sức quan trọng. Triều đình đối đãi với 15 vị tổ ty như 15 vị vương hầu. Nếu như ngài lên làm thủ vương, nhưng mệnh lệnh của ngài ban ra không bằng một câu nói của nhị đệ mình. Khống chế ba tộc này là 15 vị vương hầu, mà những người đó là do nhị đệ của mình cầm đầu. Vậy thì bất cứ một người cầm quyền nào cũng sẽ không thể chịu nổi sự sỉ nhục và khinh miệt đó, phải vậy không? Không phải đâu. Chú Nhận Hồ từ nhỏ đã khiêm tốn hoạt bát, tính cách phóng khoáng độ lượng, đối xử thân thiết với huynh đệ của mình, giữ thân trong sạch. Sao nó có thể làm được những chuyện như vậy cơ chứ? Thục Vương không dám tin vào những gì Dương Lăng vừa nói. Dương Lăng khẽ thở dài một cái. Phụ mẫu luôn yêu thương một cách mù quáng là vương gia. Ngài có bao nhiêu thời gian để dạy dỗ con cái của mình? Những biểu hiện trước mặt ngài sao có thể nói lên hết được tâm tính và phẩm cách của thế tử được?